make the second.
Let's start the meeting.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not on my computer, but the somehow this system is telling me I can't join on my computer, so I had to join on my phone.
All right, first is the DPW South Shed. Is there anything on that?
So we're gonna have another working group meeting next week and with some start of design. And then we will update you on after that.
Not.
Just
And the only question, and Lynn, this is for you and Tim, the question came up this week if Weston and Sampson is keeping notes and minutes, and they are. So we do not need to keep them with these minutes.
Okay, great. No problem. Thank you.
as sort of an adjunct as well, if town meeting passed one of the articles regarding the Greenwood School for a feasibility study to be conducted through us at Permanent Building Committee for a study on the Greenwood School. Now, I don't know when that's going to start, but I assume we're going to have that in addition to the high school and the salt shed. You know, we just keep adding more and more buildings, I guess.
But so if for whoever hasn't been through that process before, which what happens is that we put an RFP out, request for proposals for architectural firms to do the study.
Oh, okay. Is that feasibility to renovate or rebuild?
Well, that's a great question. So right now, that's the word feasibility.
Yes, what is feasible?
And MSBA has you look at all of that. So this is just starting to talk about students and what the school has and doesn't have and all that stuff. So, but we'll coordinate with Doug and his group and figure out when to get that going.
It's only 100 years old.
With no ability, no ADA and no
120, isn't
ACA.
it?
You're right, yeah.
I think it's
The
120.
loyalty to Greenwood is unbelievable.
Amazing.
So
What amazing building.
And through two pandemics.
All right, so let's start with the administrative actions here, the environmental graphic design presentation.
So I think I gotta give,
do not have any.
We're doing that afterwards because I think we'll go first.
yeah, so Hillary, you should be able to share.
You know, I think that's it.
Sounds good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, great.
I tell you, I've been waiting to talk about fonts all day.
Got it.
I sent a request to share.
I am loud.
It's okay, you don't need to talk about it.
You should be good.
Just read your participant thing. Funny, the specialist.
Great. So we're gonna give a quick update on a couple items regarding the environmental graphics. We have the Athletic Hall of Fame wall graphic that was added. It was owned in scope and the design was completed, so we want to provide an update to you there, as well as the locations for 3 of the named dedication areas within the school and our examples, renderings of where that signage would go. So starting off with the Athletic Hall of Fame, just going to kind of run through a little bit of context regarding this location and this graphic. So this is a very long hallway outside of the gymnasium where we've owned this to be the Athletic Hall of Fame. What you'll see in the lower right-hand corner, just for context as well, is a large W graphic that is planned to live just outside of the entrance of the gymnasium. And so this red wall, this red line here is the wall that we're going to be walking through today. And this was what was owned in the original scope. So if you look at the upper portion of the graphic highlighted in blue, you can really see just how long of a hallway this is, spanning the length of the gym. So there's a few parts to it that will break out for you as well. And then just a refresher on the entire graphic package, since I know it's sort of been some time thinking back to the original concept. So this idea and inspiration for the overall style for the graphics throughout the school has really taken a lot of inspiration from the Wakefield Rattan Company. The photo on the right was an image that was discovered at the Historical Museum, which then provided more context to how the graphic system could start to come together. And on the left is a few more examples of some patterns and this idea of using this organic material to bend and create all these unique shapes and patterns. And then you'll see just a couple examples of some of those geometric patterns that we started to develop. And then just moving into a few examples of the graphics that exist throughout the space, just so that there's context as we get into the Athletics Hall of Fame. So this line work is really evident in the style across the school. It's used in different ways and different contrasts. Some are a bit more literal, and others are just more abstract and accompany graphics as more of a textural element. But ultimately, it is derived from the inspiration from the rattan. And now getting into athletic walls in general, we just wanted to keep this slide here as an example of kind of the pride and the spirit that we're trying to embody in this graphic location in particular. So these are just a few examples of what athletics can feel like within the built environment. And then just a few material considerations as well. So we've owned this as a high pressure laminate from floor to ceiling. This is in addition to a lot of the graphics are the HPL material, so they're highly durable, especially for high traffic areas. So this wall will also be coordinated and wrapping and surrounding TVs as well as display cases so that there's a fully integrated look to the entirety of the elevation. And so before we start to get into the design, I just wanted to offer this perspective here to try to orient ourselves within the space. So it's just a quick rendering. So you'll see that W wall on the right, the door to the left are the double doors that enter into the gymnasium. We have a TV that was relocated to what is this red wall, and I believe the other one to the right has been removed. I think Hella can confirm that. So just to note that not everything that we're seeing in this particular rendering is accurate to the design in other areas. But just this long hallway and this perspective is really your entrance into the graphic as a whole. So we're going to start with that first section of the wall that you see. So we have the naming of the gymnasium, which has field house has been updated to gymnasium. I just want to point that out. Where we are, calling these spaces as what they were referred to, but we're still dedicating them to those individuals. So the graphic in general is meant to work with that system of graphics throughout the rest of the school. So you have that very line art inspired design. But in this case, the content being athletics, we created this abstract representation of all of the sports that are offered at Wakefield. And so just a couple examples you'll see, we've got the baseball diamond, tennis court, track and field, basketball, the list goes on. There's a lot of sports at Wakefield, but they're all represented in some capacity in this arrangement. We also have these 4 words that we've extracted from the Athletic Hall of Fame criteria as a way of tying together all of these sports and the fact that, being an athlete and being a Wakefield athlete in particular, these values really matter in the context of the individuals that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame. So then moving down the wall past a couple sets of doors, we have continued line art, and then we have this dedicated area that's a bit longer. We chose this spot because it's less interrupted by doors and display cases, but it offers a large area where a lot of content can really come together into one space, and people can stand there, and it offers this opportunity for exploring all of what's written. So we're going to dive into this section a little bit further. It's really a few different parts all coming together. So to name a few, we'll start on the left-hand side. You'll see some of these call outs. It starts off with, the title. We've got the Wakefield Memorial High School Athletic Hall of Fame. And then just below that, we have the Hall of Fame criteria, as was listed in the form, nomination form that was written on the school website. And then we have these smaller vertical panels, and each of these are meant to be the year of those inductees. So we've started that list with what has been provided to us, and all of the dates that are captured here is what you'll see in this design. But we also wanted to make sure that there were some placeholder panels so that this graphic and this wall does not feel empty before the years start to fill in over time. So in those areas, you'll see more of these line art illustrations, as well as some words that are related to the Hall of Fame criteria. And then we have some larger panels that dive a little bit deeper into those four larger words that you see as you're moving down the hallway. So we have leadership, character, courage, and honor. And each of these panels offers a little bit more of what that really means for Wakefield and as a team player, as an athlete in school. So there is a variety of information here. And then the last component is larger panels for inspirational quotes. So you'll see a few of those, and we'll walk through those as well. A couple of them are from Wakefield High School alum who went on to be incredible athletes in their careers. But, that is also something that we can collect input, like what are the quotes very meaningful and specific that we can use to inspire these students. So again, just a little bit closer. It's kind of hard with a wall that's so large to really see it all at once, but we just wanted to make sure that you get the experience of kind of what it would feel like to be standing in front of this wall and what you would see within proximity. So this is where you get that mix of information. Then as you move down, it starts to build in some of those attributes and then some of those placeholder panels, essentially waiting to be replaced by the years of inductees. And so, yeah, and just an example of quotes. So this was a quote that was found from a former field hockey forward and WMHS graduate and two-time US Olympian in field hockey. So I think, as a student, we really want to inspire that, you, as an athlete, that is an achievement in and of its own, but there are graduates from WMHS that have really had successful careers as well. So this is again just the gist of this core content space surrounded by the more abstract artwork. And then as far as the materiality goes, this would be sort of in a recessed area or void area of the HPL, where the back of the panels themselves would be painted darker red, sort of tone on tone, and then you'd have these flexible panels either cleated or just adhered to the wall and printed on acrylic panels. So everything in this wall is meant to be highly durable from a material standpoint. So that is the Athletic Hall of Fame. I don't know if we want to pause here.
Sorry. Question? Yeah,
Mhm.
let's do this. Let's, if there's any questions on this athletic wall,
Absolutely.
okay?
Yep.
So my question comes from, right, this looks great and I appreciate it, but now we're to class of 2022. How do we maintain the same look, the same materials, the
Yep.
same continuity and all of that, when either the company that has done this is long gone or whatever? How do we maintain so that it doesn't look mismatched down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have that in mind. The proposed design fills up to the year 2048 as it stands right now. And that is, I believe, if you were to do the inductees every year between now and then. We did notice that there were some gaps in the years prior, so I'm not certain what the intention is for how frequent. But it does go up to 2048. And then all of the panels, so I'll just get a little bit closer, where you see the illustrations. So we've got like the trophy, the handshake, and then all of these words: resilient, heart, strength, pride, trust. Those are all meant to be removed and then replaced with an acrylic panel. And the acrylic panel itself is something that is a little bit more standard as a manufactured printed item. We use it I mean, it's used for like base signage, room signage, things like that. So it's a very accessible material. But we do want to make sure that what we're proposing for this wall is durable, and acrylic is very durable, and particularly if it is like Z-clipped, for instance, that hardware can easily be switched out to replace another panel.
But I think that's all great. My question is we get a new AD, we get a new superintendent, we get a new principal. How do we get a new Tim O'Brien? How do we maintain this so that we know in 2037, 2020, 2031, it's the same font, it's the same look,
Yeah.
it's the same color? Who's the company doing this? Does it go out to bid? Is it a company that's been around for a long time?
Yep.
What are we doing to ensure the continuity?
Well, we can
How do we do
definitely
that?
provide a template that is used, really just copy and pasting names in with some, formatting already laid out for the identity of what these panels look like so that they remain the same. And we can also, just make sure that the ownership of this is something that's really thought through, and we can provide everything that we can: colors, fonts, all the specifics for how we've created these panels and the actual artwork file for it to then be essentially just copied and pasted with new names.
Bond owns this with a subcontractor, Bluebird, so all this information will be in the closeout manual as well.
Which is all great. My problem is you're gone in 5 years. The AD's gone in 5 years. I have to work with the school to figure out where we're gonna keep the notebook, where we're gonna keep the thumb drive, where there's so much graphic material happening in this place that it can look choppy 10 years from now if we're not, and it's more of a general question as compared to want you guys to own it at all.
I think the biggest things here would be the font, so if we can ensure that we're defining font and have track of that in the as-bills. And then also, like, it's not the PPG color. What is the color? Like every color has.
PMS color.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
So as long as we have all of that information in that submittal that Bluebird's gonna provide, then it is somewhat fairly easy to duplicate. So they'll essentially what they'll probably do is take that panel off, go and try to fabricate an exact match, and then submit it and say, hey, what do you think about this? So
And probably any sign company can do that.
a lot of sign companies can
Okay.
do. The acrylic's really common. Yeah, whether it's like a matte
I think what we have to do is work more with Tim and say, how and where are we maintaining all this stuff?
Yeah.
So there can be a line of ownership as people leave and go.
Yes,
Whether that's in the office with plans, I don't know where it is, but we need to think about that.
yeah.
Yeah, but we'll definitely give all of those specifics, right? So that's the PMS color, how it's fabricated, the size, the font. We can even provide the font file so that anyone can download it to their computer and they have it, you know. So all of these assets can be packaged for the long term.
Just a quick question.
Yeah, Wayne, yeah.
Not to do whatever happened, but having been in the facilities business for a long time, if some disgruntled student with a magic marker came out, marked up one of the panels, they're not that far off the floor, right?
Probably 5 feet.
So they're eye level.
So some schools, you know, I don't like the name on there, but mark it up. How durable are they? Can they be cleaned?
Probably can be replaced.
Can it be
Depending how
reclaimed?
bad the.
Yeah.
Can it be cleaned?
Right?
Hillary, can you clean sharps
Yeah.
off of this stuff?
That's used. I mean, if
I
you-
don't want to quote the exact
Take a knife to it.
like permanent marker experience, but we do specify acrylic on a lot of things that can easily be cleaned. I think it's even used as like whiteboard material sometimes as well for that reason.
Check with the subcontractor.
I can ask the question.
Probably like an
Yeah,
answer.
but we can definitely dive deeper into answering that question. But these materials are some of the most durable that we spec on any of our projects.
Right, and Bond can check with the subcontractor on that.
And the words were picked by something the school already has.
Yes, so what was extracted was all from this first lower left panel of the criteria. Some of the words, so in number 2, we have honor. In number 3, it says examples of the type of character, courage, leadership, and well-rounded individual. So it's meant to pull out the characteristics that are described in this criteria.
Has this been shown to the Dr. Lyons, the athletic director and the principal?
Yep, so we actually worked with them. Originally, they provided us the list of names and we updated them with the design concepts and strategy.
Yep, just to clarify, we met with Amy, Mike, and Tim O'Brien. Doug was not part of that meeting.
Okay, all right. And you remember when we met in the working group, there was a question that I had and I sent it to Tim O'Brien as well, because someone mentioned to me when we were talking about names in other parts of the building, that there was not just an athletic hall of fame, but there were other noted people who were given a quote hall of fame to the high school. Did we ever get an answer into that? And I emailed Tim O'Brien today and I never heard back from him.
But Helen, you got the answer, right?
Well, Tim had responded in the meeting and he said he would double check, but I'm not sure that we heard anything more. But he seemed pretty convinced that there was no such.
The person who mentioned it to me is very involved in the building and the school. So somehow I want to make sure that we don't, if there are quote unquote other hall of fames.
I would go back to that person and say, where is it?
Where is it? I think that's what, that no one knew that one existed. Can I ask you a question about the missing years?
Sure.
So, if you're looking at this wall, if anyone's really paying attention to it, which hopefully people will, there's missing years. Is there a way to hide that by mixing up the years rather than having it in linear format? Like if you mix and match the years all over this wall and kind of equally spread them out in a random pattern, it wouldn't be so obvious you're missing, in this, you're missing 04, you're missing 06, 07, 10. It's just, and and that comes to the second question we brought up, I think, at working group, is how is the school department gonna police? It seemed like it was up to the athletic director in those years, whether or not anyone was nominated. So like, just in general with this wall, we're providing a lot of wall space for future growth, but like, is it gonna be used? Like, what if the next athletic director, like the previous one, doesn't believe in it? And that gets us to like
Right, 'cause
2060, I
we
guess.
only have 17 was the last one.
Something like 22 spaces.
So, yeah,
Yeah, 17 is the last
So what
one.
happened the last?
The athletic director, my understanding, chose what we were told, the working group. It seems like it was up to the athletic director to run this whole athletic hall of
They had
fame.
no interest in it.
Mike has interest and really does want to bring it back and thinks it's important, but
But
it's
what
like,
happens if the next one doesn't?
next
And
one.
we end up with
So we're
12 empty
missing,
spots.
so what about jumbling the years on the wall?
I don't think that's a bad thing, because then you just have more room for more.
More room
features.
for more, right? You just go longer in time, but like, it's
Yeah.
just obvious there's years missing. And is that gonna like be like, oh, look at, they missed these years or what, you know? I don't know, by jumbling the years up, it's probably will give someone a headache, even me saying that, but I'll say it anyways.
Do you have any aspirin to come along with that comment?
Maybe you add a little comment, like a little footnote, you know?
Yeah,
That's a little strange, I don't know.
I like the symmetry of just,
Yeah.
if I'm looking for the year, I
I'm
don't
an
know,
orderly person as
search
well.
the
No,
board
yeah.
to find it.
Okay, so it is what it is. It's just, we don't need
I
to
think so.
solve other past. And then when adding new spaces, so like, someone's gonna add a space where the handshake is, so now all of a sudden you have 3 out of 4 handshake. Is there any way for those graphics, especially the one with the team huddling on one of the next slides, like, it's gonna mess up the graphic, like, right, so someone picks.
Mhm.
Is there a way to get those graphics maybe in one of the boxes, like under honor or under courage, where they won't get, because the graphic's really nice, like it brings a lot. But then you have 4 blank, I don't know what you would do with those squares. I just bring up, like, as you move along, someone's gonna pick which word they're gonna get rid of down below. Are we losing heart? Are we losing grace? Like,
Yeah.
figure out, but the graphics, and that's okay, you've seen that done where people just had, just
Yeah,
pick one of
well, you
them.
don't haphazardly, you just keep marching down,
You just keep on going down the
keep
thing.
going down,
It
so
was-
it's 3 of a huddle, it's 2 of a huddle, it's 1 of a huddle.
It was definitely top of mind when I was placing these illustrations as well. So I did sort of cover them up in that order of operation where it didn't really like ruin the integrity of the illustration. So that, you know, for each panel, there remains context to what the image is. But we can definitely fine tune that if it's not strong in some areas, but it was a part of the design process and the arrangement of those layouts.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
to that point, I would suggest just studying it one more time and maybe realign them so that that last panel can truly hold on its own.
Yep.
Like the handshake one, right? Maybe you just realign that so the hands fall closer to that third.
Yeah, or just look at other I mean I personally really liked the symbolism of the handshake. I think it's
yeah.
across the
Yeah,
board
oh,
in all
yeah.
of the sports. So we'll just want to try to figure out how that can exist. And that one in particular is a little bit difficult. So that ended up kind of being the closest to uninterrupted. But we'll definitely take a second look at that one in particular and make sure that it works.
Or 2 handshakes, or, whatever.
Right,
It's just
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, 2 handshakes on 2 tile, handshake on 2 and handshake on 2, whatever.
Yeah,
I love
or
the
the
graphics.
hands move to the right, so since that's the last piece to
Oh,
go.
Yeah, and
right,
my last is the, like, under leadership, character, and the other, there's a lot of words in those boxes.
Mhm.
So, is there, like, where did that verbiage come from? Is it, I guess, does it need to be that much words?
It does not. This was like our placeholder to get the high level experience of what is on each panel, and then as far as the fine tuning of the language, it can definitely be shorter. The words can get bigger, so that we're making sure that the layout still looks balanced and is the right size for the experience and the proximity that somebody would be standing. So we can definitely fine tune that and get that information from you, what you would like to see on on these panels, those 4 panels in particular.
I would take the easy way out, Hillary, and just do like the probably old school, like character and write what the verb or adjective, write it like you're reading a Merriam's dictionary, like that's what I would do with it, but that's because that's probably an easy way out.
Well, what they'll do now is chat GPT.
Or chat.
Yeah, well, that is how we created the placeholder, but we did it in the context of athletics. So it was more to get into what character means
Right.
sports on a team in competition, so that it stayed aligned with really the key message for this entire wall.
Maybe it's an athletics question. Maybe you use Latin as placeholders. Is what they used to. Is that an old trick?
Yeah.
Used to use Latin.
Sometimes they use
Yeah.
funny stuff.
Okay, it looks great. I think the wall looks great. So thanks.
Yeah.
2 comments. What size font is the names under the years?
That I would have to double check with you, because it's basically, I mean, the panels themselves are 8 inches wide. So, the longest line is probably 7 inches wide.
Probably
So
comparable.
it's definitely legible from the height that it's being placed on the wall and how sort of close up in this hallway space where you're going to be experiencing.
Can you see it okay? I know I'm far away.
Well.
The screen version of it is definitely.
But, no, I think you gotta remember 2 things, is the farthest you're gonna be away from this is 5 feet, 6 feet.
Because you're in the hallway.
Because you're in the hallway.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think, yeah, I can see it fine here.
Yeah.
But if that's 8 by 2 feet, that's gonna be pretty good. I think it would be great at some point before this is actually done, to Chrissy's point, is to see one of these panels in real life size.
Probably a good idea.
And a mock.
Always, just as a practice, we always print and mount like any text of a particular size to ensure legibility before it actually gets installed. So that's part of our process.
And we could just, like you do for, like you guys are so good about, everything else, mock-ups. We should see the actual size of the letters on just a piece of paper.
Yep.
On a wall before we say, yep, that's the right size.
Yeah, and again, mounted at the correct height so that you're really getting that exact experience for what you're seeing.
And we can do it in this room pretty easy.
Yeah, and anything just has to be printed at scale, and it can be on an 8.5 by 11. So
You can even just hang it in the building right up on the wall.
That even do that, yeah, per scale, yeah,
Right.
true scale.
And then, do you mind flipping I think it's slide 2.
which direction?
I think it's slide 2. So, sorry. Nope, sorry, you went by. It's definitely not slide 2. Slide 9. So what is happening where that screen is on the right? Because that, to me, is such an opportunity for the majority of the people that are gonna be circulating in the auditorium and in the gym from this point. So I feel like that needs to be kind of incorporated into this design.
Maybe the permanent building committee's plaque.
There you go. Our own Hall of Fame.
I need to check, but we might have.
Not in the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
The Hall of Shame? What do you?
Hall of Shame.
Well, that's what you said, you got rid of that
Yeah, we
screen,
moved.
but in my mind, like, if you're looking at the plan, you're gonna see this way more often than all the way down the hallway. So I think.
Yeah. So we had to own, or we only owned HPL going down this one wall on the left. And in the design and construction, it was always a TV there. So that wasn't like owned from a material standpoint in our package as being anything but that.
Okay.
I guess to her point as well, if that's the Hall of Fame, why is it at the very end of the hallway?
Yeah.
Who's gonna go down there? Right, you're gonna go in and out of the gym.
There's
under
another
these
door at
double-
the end,
Yeah, but nobody's gonna use it,
but you're also going down the hall to go to the classrooms. There's classrooms.
but not visitors, right? Those are kids. But if you're coming another school, a visitor, you're gonna be using this, during halftime, you're gonna be mingling in this hallway. You're not gonna be that far end
Right.
is pedestrian, if you may. You're only there if you have to be.
Yeah, but my kids' years aren't on there, so I really don't care. It's true.
If you go to the floor plan.
Is he in the
because
Hall of
that's-
Fame?
That's the elevator
My
lobby.
daughter might have been for tennis.
So you'll actually spend. a
Lots
bit
of-
there,
lots of
you know what I
activity
mean?
will
Like,
be
you
there.
Isn't
spend-
that the year though? Yeah,
you
that's
spend
22.
time there.
They got years to do it.
And then is that on the?
I mean, could it go between the windows?
No.
Which one?
Is there enough room in between the windows?
No, it's running like that.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think for the amount of content that we've provided, this uninterrupted portion of it really
Yeah.
was what fit the best. We do have the additional doors going into the gym, and then there's also a stairwell at the end for more
And
circulation with the classrooms on the opposite side. But when you look at
I think this is great. I think what you guys put forward is great, but I think we should look at how we can incorporate that wall and how it wraps around the elevator too into that whole concept.
Yeah, I'm not, Helen, I don't know what,
Hillary, can it fit between the two display cases?
For those playing cases.
Those are display cases?
Yeah.
What-
Yeah.
Why can't we just move them?
Well, because they're already in the wall.
Framed.
You guys talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus, move
yeah, things are built now, so it's a little bit more difficult than moving them
I would
around.
just see if there's a different, what?
Ceiling color? Okay, it's just white. Okay, so the red.
The idea for the graphic as a whole is definitely intended to draw you in and to give you visual interest of moving down this space. So that is why it's expansive all the way up until that door to the gym. So even though that the content, the smaller, things that you're reading and engaging with isn't the first thing that you're seeing, we are trying to like connect you to want to move down this space.
I just think it's an important enough concept that if they're going to keep moving forward with it, it shouldn't be lost at the end of this very long hallway. So I would just add that as a comment and see what you can think about to address that. We don't need to solve it tonight, because I think in general, you've done a great job, but let's think about, could it be more prominent?
Yeah, I can definitely experiment with shifting it over. I just want to ensure that it doesn't feel like it's jammed into any location, and that there's a nice balance between what's on display as well as, just the doors, and we're not just like wedging it. But we'll think about that and see if there's any opportunity to move it further to the left.
And the other question is, why did the TV get moved?
Because when you come out of the elevator, the
TV's right
conversation,
there on
it
the
was on the
right.
right.
Yeah.
So we talked about putting it straight ahead.
Right, so there's not.
Yes,
See it
and-
straight
and-
ahead. There's not two there. The one on the right.
No, I know.
The elevators
Moved
to
From the right to there, right? So I'm just saying, why did it get moved?
You can
there?
see.
It-
the elevator.
Come out of the
Sorry,
elevator and you don't even know.
You're not seeing it there, you're seeing it in front of you.
You're looking at it.
it. Well, we got the list of the salvageable items. One of them is a brass plaque, so it's indicating the Charbonneau Fieldhouse.
Okay.
Is that something we wanna put up?
I'd have to look at the schedule, because on that schedule, it states where it goes. Now recall.
I don't recall if it says where it goes, but I know there was a plaque that we talked about reinstalling it. It's an old plaque.
I'll look into it.
Look at, yeah, so
And if I can just interject that those, yes, this is an earlier rendering that Hillary is working with. In review of the number of TVs throughout the building, Amy was really concerned about having TVs that didn't have content. So the one that is, you know, when you get off the elevator and to that right side, she felt was not going to be maintained with information. So we did do sort of a weeding out of some of the TV displays throughout the building, and that was one that went away. The one that is currently located below the naming of the gym will be maintained by the athletic director.
All right, any more on the athletic? All right.
Actually, Joe, to answer your question, right now it's supposed to be placed in storage.
What?
The new location for the Chabonneau plaque says placed in storage.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's placed in storage, so it's gonna be
But yeah,
installed.
so I'm saying, yeah, so we could put it.
Dave, this is on the list
Consider
you
putting
sent
it
us
there.
last Friday, correct?
Right,
We need to review the list. Dave sent us and make markups, I think, of things that we might think. I think this is
Right.
one of them on the list.
Yeah.
That,
It's not a big thing, it's very small.
no, but where they have, where it's gonna go, storage. It's probably not, or maybe not.
Depends.
And it's gonna need blocking. We probably need to figure that out quickly because it's a heavy.
Well,
plaque.
or it can go in display case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could go in this display case, it could be going behind the door, that door where the one little wall, the
Yep,
short wall.
This is why you're not a designer.
Yes, I know. But we have the.
When does graphics get finalized in this process with the school in January? Like how far, like when does all this need to go to
Start
print?
getting made.
Yeah, like just curious, when,
Great,
yeah,
great
like,
question.
when do we need to finalize this? Cause like we're telling you to relook at things and like, we probably, are we supposed to be giving you a green light?
Yes. At this point, yes, we're reviewing all of our HPL color samples, and that has been a priority because those take the longest in the color proofing process. So we're really prioritizing anything made out of that material. And in general, we are very active now in the production of the remaining graphics.
So for this, this wall, from one end to the other, would you say by like our next meeting, we should be approving everything 100%? Or is that too late? Do we need to do it before that, or?
We can look at that, Hillary, and figure it out.
If we meet once a month, I'm just asking, because as a whole group, we only meet once a month, so just.
It's right up there.
Yeah, we'll coordinate with Vaughn and get a warrant. It's even just, it's
Yeah.
right by the
Deadline.
That's all. No, it's a good point.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's nothing on
So-
one.
We can't hear you all in the room right now. Maybe you're just deliberating, but Hillary has a few more things to
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
through.
go
with you.
ahead. Yes, please.
Okay,
It'll be easier than this one. Sorry.
we hope.
Well, hopefully this was easy.
Yeah,
We got one shot to make it right, so.
of course.
Totally.
And to be fair, to so that you all understand, the athletic, this fell behind the content development of everything else in the building with the switchover with athletic director, and Mike Murphy's been great to work with. So this one came along a little later. So hence the more detailed review right now.
All right, you want to go to the next area?
Yeah, so this is just a quick update on the 3 dedicated spaces. So the first added signage is the Dennis O'Leary Commons. And this was the location that felt the most connected into the Commons environment, with sort of the abstract walls that exist, in the space. We wanted to make sure that it was visible, incorporated into the environment, but also as a little bit more subtle. So you'll see sort of a tone on tone with the dimensional lettering, which is really meant to be there, not as an everyday read, but as something that you experience throughout your time.
Hillary, has this gone through the administration? This particular one? Because when I spoke to Dr. Lyons, there was another area that he was thinking about.
The last this was presented was with you in the last PBC meeting, and this was the preferred option.
Oh, the working group, yeah, is what, what Hillary's talking
Oh,
about.
no,
Okay,
no, there
sorry.
was this, I'm talking about Dr. Lyons, wanted it in another area. When we did a tour when we walked through.
Was that on the TVs walking into the servery?
Yes.
Okay, we'll confirm that with him.
Yes, and so I think that, or at least on that area rather than this, in other words, it'd be the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a system, what we were trying to achieve was a continuity between what naming spaces, what that signage looks like across all of the areas, and not all of the areas have a TV. So from our perspective, we were just looking at options where they could all have the same visual language.
we have to go through the administration on that.
Okay.
We have to have Doug's eyes on it.
Yeah, my only
Okay,
comment on this is, should it say dining commons? Not just commons?
Well, it's not, but it's not all dining, like you can gather.
Okay, so that's, yeah, we
You
just.
can have a little mini class.
Okay, well, we always call it dining commons when we're walking around, but that's because we know what it is, right? Okay, but for signage purposes, that's the intent.
That's one of the.
Mhm.
Just ask.
One of the things was, the cafeteria was named after him, and that's why it made more sense to put it over by the cafeteria, the servery area.
It wasn't the whole.
It wasn't the whole,
Okay.
I think that's what his thinking was, because it was the cafeteria that was named, and that's different. You know, that whole building compared to this area.
Welcome to Wakefield.
Okay.
All right,
we'll make sure Doug sees it.
We get holograms, like we get a hologram of Dennis Leary explaining why the dining commons today. Like Charbonneau, like he could be standing there like.
Good, Bill.
Yeah, like that.
Not in the signage package, sorry.
All right, so the next space we have is the Governor Volpe Memorial Media Center. And we were looking for an opportunity where you'd have a direct facing signage as well. And because of this sort of corridor entry, this glazing is the most direct facing sort of environment. So this sign has been placed on the glass above the doors.
no, the library was named after him.
Any thought, any?
Are you gonna black out the back of it so you don't see the backwards letters from inside? Is that a full glass transom or is that gonna be changed to some sort of panel?
So we typically do a cover on the back so that you don't see the adhesive. We could explore doing a whole panel that sort of covers that entire piece of glass. In our last call, I think going through this option, it was sort of, I guess, prioritize that your entry experience wouldn't really impede seeing backwards letters as you were exiting, but we could certainly do, a full covered option as well.
Yeah, no, sorry, that question was more right in your world that you were in with graphics, like.
Yeah.
Seeing backwards graphics coming out of a room isn't like a
Full high.
no-no, so to say. It's more like that type.
Yeah, I think the priority is that first impression and that entrance experience. I don't know that we worry so much about the backwards letters. What we make sure is that there are backer panels so that you're not seeing the mounting adhesive and the installation, so that it looks clean. So that's a part of the experience. But I think, we can give that some extra thought as well. And if we felt we needed it, maybe come back with that option.
Is there a sign on the room? There's a Volpe room, the archives.
Yeah.
A sign on the archives room?
There's a typical room sign that is naming the Volpe Archives.
Oh, okay.
It is within this, the library, the media center space.
in these doors to the right is that room with the sign next to it.
Is it just like?
And
a
it just
little
has this
gray
like this
signage?
the black letter with this,
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, what you're seeing, these black signs on the glass is not what they're, this mock-up does not do justice what those signs actually look like, but it is a sign that has that for the name.
Is that the sign to that room?
For the archives room, is it a regular room sign
Yeah.
or is it letters on the glass or something?
Yeah. That's what I wondered.
Is it just a regular sign or is it some kind of special design?
It sounds like.
I
it's-
believe so. I believe it is a regular room sign. I think there's
Okay.
not a lot of wall space surrounding that door. To pull up a floor plan to look at that.
Mhm.
I don't, they're presently, they don't have anything bigger than that now, I don't think, do they? Do we know what they have there now for the room?
Well, he's dead, so we don't care.
I
Ellen,
don't know. I do not know. I don't know.
Don't think I'm out and shoot it. Can we just check to make sure about that? Cause it's a very sensitive area,
That you want the archives played.
yeah. If they just have a sign.
As nice as what they have now.
Whatever they have now.
Or better.
Yeah.
Not worse.
Okay, next.
Okay, and the last one is the one that you've already seen in the elevation for the Hall of Fame. So this would again be correctly labeled the gymnasium, just above the TV.
Great.
Excellent.
All right.
So
Thank you.
that is the end of my sharing.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Definitely will give some food for thought to a few of these comments and make sure that everything is ready to go as quickly as possible.
Great, thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you much.
Thank you all.
Celery.
All right, the next is the minutes. We have a motion to approve the April 16, 2026 permanent building committee, school building committee meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the April 16th minutes.
And is there a second?
I will second.
Is there any discussion or comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you, they're approved. Review of the monthly invoices.
I move that we approve Left Field's invoice for $145,000.
I second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Jason?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Chrissy?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
It's unanimous. Approved.
I move that we approve SMMA's invoice for $104,410.70.
I will second that.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Jason?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Chrissy?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
It's unanimously approved.
I move that we approve UTS's invoice for $1,796.
And 50 cents.
And 50 cents, I guess.
All right, I will second that.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Jason?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Wayne? Bill? Chrissy?
No, yes.
Yes.
Unanimously approved.
I move that we approve bonds invoice for $5,072,339.28.
Yeah, that matches. I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Jason?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Wayne? Bill?
Yes.
Chrissy?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Unanimously approved.
That makes total invoices for this month, some $5,323,546.48.
Thanks for a good Thursday night.
All right, budget update.
So to date, we've committed 92% of the budget and expended 23%. The construction budget and uncommitted amount have remained the same as in the previous months.
Okay,
Um,
You meant 63%, right? Not 23%? We've expended 63%, not 23%?
63% expended.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay.
And we haven't touched our owner's construction contingency, and our owner's soft cost contingency, remains at $1,926,084. So our cash flow, the expenditures are tracking somewhat below the cash flows. And that's basically, because we haven't used any of our external contingencies over the course of the project. And they were evenly distributed per month.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, in terms of our contingency status, bonds GMP contingency has a remaining balance of $5,146,370. Our owner's contingency is standing at $11,022,969, and our soft cost contingency at $1,926,084, giving us a total remaining balance of all contingencies of $18,095,423. So our construction progress is at 68%, and we've only expended 16.9% of our contingencies to date.
Any questions or comments?
Lynn, can you remind me where our additional funds for FF&E came out of?
Where they're coming out?
Well,
Of the
have they been accounted for yet?
let me hold on one second. Let me just pull up that budget form for you. I think we were waiting for the final,
We were gonna do technology and FF&E as a budget.
yeah, and when we had all numbers, we were going to reallocate move the money.
So where is that coming out of? Construction contingency or soft cost?
It would come out of soft cost contingency to the extent that we had the soft cost contingency available.
All right. Good. All
So
right.
I think,
Right.
All right.
so we have not made those increases yet to date. And again, like I said, we're hovering right around what we have in owner's contingency. So we'll see what happens with technology and how that comes in. And then we'll make those moves.
And when do we expect to have those numbers? That buyout?
Technology, RFPs are going out this month, so still, probably another month away, month and a half.
Helen, do you recall where we stand with what the estimate for technology is?
I know it's on budget, is that
It was like
wrong?
right up
We
above.
were right on budget, yeah, and I think we increased the contingency a bit to cover some of those extended warranties that everyone was interested in.
Right.
In service costs. Yeah.
Right, right,
Oh, it was right around the budget number.
right.
The FF&E was, that was over, but
We had that one.
we like by 1.5, was it?
Right, I think.
Yeah, around that. All
I
right.
think we'd approved at the last meeting additional contingency for the technology for service
Correct.
contracts.
Yeah, that you brought up.
And warranty, yeah. So that was last month.
All right. Any other questions, comments? All right, Lynn, you're done there?
I am.
All right, internal change order.
Sorry, you want to do the status of holes and allowances?
Please.
We
Yes.
have $2,918,231 left in holes and $559,653 left in allowances. So the percentage of those expenditures is 63%, and we're at 68% with construction progress.
I represented the town meeting for 69 years.
Once again, you're a liar.
That's right. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, change order.
Okay. Start PCO 173. This is during construction, we discovered 2 doors, one in south stage, the southwest stage and chorus that did not meet the MAAB door clearances. We worked with Bond to figure out the most cost-effective fix, and that was to add an automatic door opener to each opening, resulting in a cost of $18,388.
PCO 211 was, once the pipe grid was called to be powder coated and once it was fully welded, couldn't get it into the building. So this is a credit to eliminate the powder coating and then an add to hand paint the pipe grid after we welded it inside in the field. This is for $18,189 funded from contingency.
PCO 212, this is a change to put the refrigerator and freezer that are in the main kitchen and the commodity freezer that's on the loading dock connected to emergency power, resulting in a cost of $7,046. PCO 218, this is at the rigging pit on the stage. At the end of the pit is an opening so you can access the ladder, but the opening doesn't have any fall protection to it. So we had to add a railing with the operable gate, resulting in a cost of $10,906. PCO 219, this came from a PR. These changes came from a review meeting we had with WCAT to confirm the design reflected their needs for the AV systems. This is scope that was missing from the drawings that were part of the original design meeting with WCAT. It included adding audio and video output connections to interface with the WCAT broadcasting equipment in the auditorium, LGI out on the field, and in the cafeteria, resulting in a cost of $76,796. PCO 220, this is the telescoping stands in the gym. We had to revise the power from single phase to 3-phase as we reviewed the submittal. That resulted in a cost of $7,419. PCO 222, added and clarified locations for the AV system that's in the gym. This includes adding and moving the locations around of Bluetooth wall plates, HDMI transmitter, antenna, and microphone, resulting in a cost of $9,024. PCO 226, the revised branch circuits for the 3 fan coils that are in the main entrance vestibule, resulting in a cost of $4,023. Next, PCO 227, sprinkler heads that are in the stage corridor, the corridor in the back of the stage, that the heads are fed from above and they were fed with the flexible piping. We were concerned about folks moving around stage items and hitting it, so we changed those to a more durable material, and that resulted in a cost of $4,305.
PCO 228, we had a conflict with the sprinkler head underneath the gym bleachers about blocking that needed to go into the bleachers when we were doing the shop drawings. So we had to drop it. This was for $4,421 funded from contingency.
PCO 231, the 2 out of the 3 scoreboards in the gym did not have power going to them, so we had power, resulting in a cost of $2,201.
PCO 234, we had to order replacement veneer granite at stair D2. The current wall was set at a different elevation due to a control point discrepancy. When we caught it, the current wall was already installed. To keep the design intent, we had to order a new granite. This is just for the fabrication, the furnishing and fabrication for that granite, $5,565 funded from kids.
PCO 236, the electric heaters that are on the back wall of the stage were incorrectly spec'd as white, so we had to change them to black. We did look into field painting them, that wasn't allowed by the manufacturer. So we have replaced the units, resulting in a cost of $9,481. PCO 238, this is a change where we added 20 more wireless microphone channels with antenna distribution and 20 wireless belt pack transmitters, 24 lavalier microphones with the rechargeable batteries to the project as requested by the owner, resulting in a cost of $64,903.
The auditorium.
Yeah.
The auditorium.
Yes,
Yes.
I never did.
Your name's on the back wall.
PCO 239, there's the stringer size increase at stairs C2 and D1. There was one detail in the drawings that noted a size of 2 by 12, and it needed to be 2 by 14 as calced by the Miss Meadow sub. So the material, there's more material, resulting in a cost of $7,097.
PCO 242, we needed help cleaning up the roof and putting down protection on it. So we asked Century to provide a couple laborers for us. This was for $2,370 for this. PCO 243 was a misbuy an electric message board that's going to be up front. Bluebird thought when they were reading the spec, it said a one-sided message board, but if you scroll down more in the spec, it was 2 single-sided boards on either side of the monument. So this was $26,430 funded from contingency. PCO 244 snow removal. It's in the Nahan. We had a tight site. We had to get it off site. So this is trucking for $1,955 from contingency. PCO 245 is to clean the AE courtyard, install a temp drain and lay gravel to allow for safe working conditions. We used this heavily throughout the project. It was one of our main loading laydown areas, and we needed to make sure it drained so we could work there safely. This was $35,977 funded from contingency. PCO 246 is to extend the temp water line to Masons. We moved their fixing station away from the existing school to the amphitheater, so we had to do that for $3,359 from contingency. PCO 248 is for Quigley to furnish us dense grade to infill holes around the site. We asked them to drop it off for us, and we had our laborer spread it with Buckhead. This was for $1,007 from contingency. PCO 249 is ABB patching. This was miscellaneous repairs around the building. This is for $17,099 from contingency. PCO 250 was the terrace roof paver storage for 1 month only. So it was a long lead, so we released it, and then when it came in, we needed a buffer to store it until we got a plan on where to put it, because we couldn't bring it to site just yet. So that was for $3,410 on contingency. PCO 252 is to rework the studio pipe grid. We had to change it to 11 feet off finished floor based on the theater drawings in lieu of their approved 10-foot off. I had that. You go back one, sorry. That was for $5,828. PCO 749 is Griffin coordination support. We needed them to come in on a Saturday to work with the Mason. They have to make sure their products are laid out correctly. This was multiple Saturday, sorry. And this was for $9,062. PCO 751 is Century PTO to excavate the water service room and main MDF and sound sounds in E1067. This was for Saturday and it was $1,646 from contingency. PCO 752 was adding block with coordination of the equipment, gym equipment submittals. We met with them, reviewed what their requirements, and it was above and beyond what we had bought with Century. So this was for $10,979 funded from athletic equipment. PCO 753 is spillane acceleration. We had them accelerate areas to push the schedule and get other trades fall down behind them. This was for $7,539. This is funded from the premium templates. PCO 754 was enlarged the culvert hole for pipe to DMH 3-3. We need to quickly enlarge this hole, because the culvert came in a different size. This was for $1,904 funded from the culvert pre-purchase. PCO 756, the structural steel was an early bid package, and we had the supports for the mat movers with the structural sub. When the snow came in, we had to adjust those. We had to cut them all out and then re-weld them in. This was just $16,645 funded from the field adjust clashes. PCO 258, walls out of sequence duct inefficiency claim that we received from Worcester Air. So during the spring of 2005, we had many weather days. So anytime it poured out and we had light gauge manufacturing going on the exterior, we had a lot of carpenters, keep them busy. We brought them in to do interior work. So we've been working with Worcester Air for the past year, kind of just going through the claim, asking for more information. Didn't really get anywhere, so we kind of took it up on ourselves to take our dailies, kind of understand where they got impacted, and we also picked up that there were areas where they got to put their ductwork out before walls, so they got more efficient there. So we kind of went back and forth with them, and then we settled. They started at $136,000. We settled for $36,103 funded from contingency. PCO 255. This is removal of layout marks on the concrete floor ahead of the linoleum install. So when we got the linoleum product data, it says that you cannot have layout markings, paint, Sharpies, non-permanent markers, pencils, pens, nothing, because it telegraphs through the flooring. So we had to have Frontline come in on T&M and scrape off or grind off all the markings and paint off the floors before we put the linoleum on. This only happened at the linoleum locations. We did this on T&M, and this was for $109,030.
Just in comment to that too, we're not done.
Yeah, there's more of that to occur, right?
Correct.
Probably about another 50.
Correct.
Who marked it though?
It's layout from all the trades, so like
Yeah.
So literally, it
everybody.
shown through the linoleum,
There's no pictures of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and they say it's the first time it's ever happened. SMMA has picked this product.
What is it?
We beat them up pretty bad in the working group on this.
Oh, I'm not sure the thing. We've used it on other jobs and haven't had this problem. Great.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, the same manufacturer, everything.
Yes.
All right, do we have a motion?
So we go to the next slide.
There it is.
I move that we approve in the internal change order number 24 as presented for a zero budget transfer, but the whole sum is $542,098 from holds, allowances, and construction contingency.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Jason,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Chrissy,
Yes.
Chip,
Yes.
unanimously approved.
Just to give you a quick update
Yeah.
from, they've gone through about 40 of these bins already.
Wow, really? That's great.
Yeah, so Josh Brewster gave us a quick update just saying it's going well, and they're just gonna keep going till the end of the year, so. All right,
And we already budgeted and paid for this, right?
yep. So like I said, they've got classrooms already emptying out and stuff like that, so.
What the hell's going on in there?
What's a little scary is they've got to still teach in this for another 3
I mean, what the heck's happening here?
I don't know, Tim O'Brien's kind of gave the
They
teachers.
did tell them that
budget
they're
orders.
not moving until January.
Right, I mean, they do have to show up in the fall.
Oh, wow.
Holy Christ.
Moving in.
A lot of room for donuts.
Tim's taking no prisoners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Historical. What's that do with? No,
Right along.
Folks in the library that they're donating to the historical. All right, the phase 2 logistics plan.
So this is, we just wanted to update the logistics plan, and just kind of show what it's gonna look like when we turn it over in January. You know, the main drive lane now is gonna be Hemlock coming up, turning around at the football field and coming back down and then walking down the sidewalk. So basically, what's gonna be installed, is kind of the curb line back to the school. And then we are gonna binder a little bit past that just to have a clean surface, but until we get the existing school down, it's kind of limited, so. We met with a bunch of people, we added some walkways up near our lot. And yeah, this is kind of.
So in addition to this, I wanted to get in front of you the draft to the parent flyer. You have that, Tim? So this is a draft of what would be published and sent out to all the parents, showing them where to go. And this shows the route that Marcus just mentioned of heading up Hemlock and turning around, heading back down. And that's for parent drop off and school bus drop off. The red is yellow.
Are there arrows on those lines
Yes.
that show the direction of
Yes.
that?
Yeah, there's arrows heading up the hill, turning around and heading down. There's also an arrow indicating the main entrance, and the black dot, black lines are the pedestrian routes.
Why do we need
When they,
Sorry, Chip, you go.
when they drop them off at the red slash, how do they walk to the building? Where do they enter?
There's a sidewalk. If you follow
Along the road?
Yes, you follow the black dashes down and turn into the school.
Okay, so you got parents, then school buses, so you're putting school buses closer to the entrance.
Is there a pedestrian path behind the school
Yes.
from Wiley? So that gate's gonna be complete? Because that's all fenced off right now.
Right.
That will be done.
That'll be done, so people are gonna be able to walk behind the school to the front. Is there a reason we need to show the bus route so prominently if this is going to parents? Like, most people are gonna be interested in the red line,
It can be
right?
split out.
But the other part is that the red line are the people that's not gonna pay attention to the yellow line. So yes, I think you need to say,
Well, what do you
look, don't park in the school bus area.
No, but no one ever parks. It's like in the morning, like you either get stuck behind the bus or you don't, when they're dropping people off and you wait and then you go. Everyone's following the same pattern. The buses and the cars are following the same exact pattern. So is there a reason we really need? I would just make a more prominent direction with arrows of what the direction of traffic's gonna be, is my note. But if there's a need to show the bus route because kids are taking the bus and parents wanna know where the bus is gonna go, then fine, I get it. I just,
The only difference
Is there,
unloading and unloading zone.
yeah. Is there enough, have we counted the spaces for the staff? Is there enough for those 2 spaces? So
Yes.
We're not gonna be using the upper lot?
Not right now, and I think from the very beginning, they understood that this duration is gonna be the
Yeah.
tightest duration
Right.
of the project, from
I thought that-
January to.
I thought that some of the staff was gonna have to use the upper lot too.
I don't know,
We can confirm that.
No, let's just make sure we confirm that, because you're telling them student parking. But as I recall, I thought that we had to have some of those for the staff as well.
Staff take some-
parking is
I
assigned.
think they're taking both sides.
They're taking both sides, but as I recall, I thought that there was some question about the number. We ought to just make sure about the
yeah,
number.
we marked up on the
We
logistics.
can confirm that.
Yeah, we gotta confirm that.
Can you walk me back to the other,
This one?
the one before? Oh, yes, this one. Can you walk between, on the like plan east side? Can you walk between the new school and the old school? Where there's no dash?
You can't, you mean where
Between the
the,
sign twin?
Yeah,
We're gonna try not to let people walk through there because it's gonna be a big elevation change. We can't fill that up until we've raised the grade about 4 feet, so we can't fill that corridor until that building's down, so we're actually gonna have to build a temp ramp coming out of that door, an egress door near the aux gym, so we're gonna try to maintain not going down.
I think we briefly talked about at the working group, like mobility, people with, might have some mobility issues or needs, and whether or not that's a very long walk to the front door from Hemlock, if there was any other shorter way to get them in, but there's such a pinch where the old school over by the loading dock gym area.
What's the demo phase?
I think that's the first phase, the first slide. Can someone pull that up? For the second phase.
Sorry, I was looking at what was the question?
What's the phasing plan for the demo?
So this is our initial plan.
Process.
We just met with them again. We're updating it, so I don't really wanna, where it's gonna change.
Okay, so just, I'm bringing it up because just to consider if there's a way to prioritize the southern portion demo so that you can provide a little bit more access.
So this says
Yeah,
here, it's gonna be
that's why we
done.
kind of have a dot, dash in red. That was our plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abate that and then try to focus, maybe we can hit that on like a February vacation.
Yeah, this says here February vacation.
But we're talking to them, I think the center kind of lane between the buildings, call it, we're gonna abate and demo that first, so we can have a driving lane out safe. So, you know, it's gonna be updated and, get sure that once it's kind of cleaned up.
Another question on the flyer is, do we need to designate visitor spots?
Staff, that's probably a principal question. They always have,
Yeah.
like during the day, someone's visiting the school, where are they
Yeah, where are we
parking?
supposed to park?
Right.
Like, where do people park now? They sort of just
At the
don't
front of
park
the
in
school.
front of the
Front of
school,
the
the
school.
hazards on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
probably.
there's usually 4 or 5 spots.
You park in the fire lane.
There's usually 4 or 5 spots in front of the school.
Or there's
Okay,
a spot
so-
There's
over there.
visitor spots.
We'll figure out where to put that, probably in the staff parking.
And there'll be one crosswalk where you have the flag. There won't be another crosswalk closer to the intersection, correct? At staff parking, there's only that one crosswalk where show right near from the ball field to the purple. That's the only way to get across the street.
Right.
Could you expand that staff construction parking?
No, it's right up against the fence.
So you were gonna allow,
So I'm looking at the plan, we're giving
We'd be taking right field away from them.
65 parking spots to the owner when we turn over. And now,
Yeah. It is, okay,
And then there's a grade change.
right,
And you
and
start to enter the wetlands area.
that's what it is. Okay, great, we just wanted your
Yeah,
feedback
thank you.
on this.
All right,
Thank you.
Well done, well done.
all right. Do we need to go through any construction update? I don't think. I think we're gonna, most of us will be there on Saturday, some of us, and others have seen
can I
it.
do one?
We don't, any design update needed? I don't think so.
sure.
No, the elevator showed up today, so I just wanted
Oh.
Marcus, can you do a quick construction?
Yeah, sure.
Just
Skip the photo.
state of where we're at. You want to follow?
Yeah.
Probably go back.
And there is no
So
more later, maybe. Yeah.
So this is the north side of D building. It's the last elevation that we are bricking. You can see we're washing down and then taking this off. That's definitely off. Picture on the right is sunrise coming in after the brick was down on the west side of D building, and they're installing the middle pin. This is the back east side of this building with the back. That's kind of that walkway we were talking about coming from Raleigh. We're just resetting those retaining walls. You can see we put the scoreboards up in the gym. This is the media center. We installed the ceiling grid and started putting the lights and diffusers in it. These are the rated storefronts going into the upper LGI space. This is the loading dock. We got it all framed out. We got inspections. Before it's going to do. Essentially e-test. The picture on the right is the access doors to the music area. This is the light well and the kind of the central stair in the academic, call it C2. We whited out the corridors on the 3rd floor, so it's a kind of big step. And then millwork has remobilized. We got all the 3rd floor millwork on site going through it. So. And then the other big thing is the elevator. Like I said, it came today. So.
All right. Thank you, Margaret.
No problem. Next.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Quick schedule update. Next tour is June 4th. Right?
Yep.
Next working group on the 4th. We'll meet again on the 18th. And some of us on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Right? Any other questions, any other issues to be raised? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
I move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Good.